Hey guys, it's Amour. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this cute Cyndaquil Pokemon Amigurumi. He has a flame on the back made from eyelash yarn, and he has smiling eyes made from felt. He has a body patch in blue and 4 limbs. And here is his crochet Pokeball. You can also find this tutorial on my YouTube channel. And be sure to check out all my free crochet patterns on my blog, amiamour.com. Alright, what are we waiting for? Let's get started! Here are the materials you'll need. You'll need a crochet hook 5.0mm in size, worsted weight acrylic yarn in the color Aran and dark blue, eyelash yarn in the colors of red and orange, polyfill stuffing, black felt for Cyndaquil's eyes, and Fabri-Tac glue to glue them on. For the head and body, for round 1 with Aran color yarn, you are going to chain 2. That's going to be 1, 2, and you'll do 6 single crochet stitch into the first chain. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then you're going to make sure to tighten up your circle, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to use our stitch marker to mark the end of our last stitch. Now you're going to ignore that loop because that doesn't count. For round 2, our pattern is 2 in each stitch all the way around, and you'll have 12 single crochet stitches. So in our very first stitch, it is going to be 1 and 2. In our next stitch, it's 1 and 2. Repeat again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and in our very last stitch, we're going to do 1 and 2 single crochet stitches, and now we should have 12 single crochet stitches around. Now for round 3, our pattern is 2, 1, 2, 1. Continue to repeat around, and you should have 18 single crochet stitches at the end. So in our very first stitch, that is 1, and into the same stitch, 2. And then just 1. Repeat the pattern again. It's 1 and 2, and then just 1 in our next stitch. Continue to repeat the pattern all the way around, and at the end you should have 18 single crochet stitches. For round 4, our pattern is 2, and in our next 8, just 1. Repeat one more time, and then you'll have 20 single crochet stitches. So in our very first stitch, it's going to be 1 and 2 into the same stitch. And then in the next 8, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Repeat the pattern again. It's 2, and in the rest, it's just 1. So that's going to be 1, and in the same stitch, 2. And then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 into our last stitch, and now we should have 20 single crochet stitches. For round 5 and 6, we're just going to stay at 1 single crochet stitch all the way around, so you'll stay at 20 single crochet stitches. So that's just 1 in each stitch, and continue to work your stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of round 6. For round 7, our pattern is a decrease, and in our next 8, just 1 single crochet stitch, repeat again, and you'll have 18 single crochet stitches. So here is our first decrease, and then you'll have 3 loops, yarn over and come out, and in our next 8, just 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and repeat again. We're going to do a decrease right here, and then in the rest of the stitches we're just going to go ahead and do 1 in each stitch all the way around. Round 8, our pattern is going to be a decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, repeat around, and you'll have 12 single crochet stitches at the end. So here is our first decrease, and then just 1. Repeat the pattern again, a decrease, and then just 1. And continue to repeat all the way around. For round 9, our pattern is a decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, repeat around, and you'll have 8 single crochet stitches at the end. So here is our first decrease, and then just 1. Repeat the pattern again, decrease, and then 1, and continue to repeat all the way around. For round 10, our pattern is going to be a decrease, 1, 1, decrease, 1, 1, and you should have 6 single crochet stitches at the end. So here is our decrease, and then 1 and 1. Decrease again in our next stitch. It's going to be decrease and 1 and 1, and now we should have 6 single crochet stitches. Round 11, we are going to do 2 in each stitch all the way around, and so we'll have 12 single crochet stitches at the end. So that's going to be 1 and 2. Next stitch is also 1 and 2, and continue to repeat all the way around. For round 12, our pattern is going to be 2, and then in our next 5, just 1, repeat around, and you'll have 14 single crochet stitches. So that is 1 and 2 into the same stitch, and then it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Repeat again. It's 2 in our next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. And then the rest of the stitches just 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 into our last stitch. And now we should have 14 single crochet stitches. For rounds 13 through 15, we're just going to stay at 14, so it's just 1 in each stitch all the way around. So go ahead and work up your stitches, and I will meet you at the end of round 15. This is how it should look like after round 15. Now, we're going to decrease all the way around, but we're going to go through the back loop only. Before we went through both loops, this is the front loop, this is the back loop. So we only want to go through the back loop only and do a decrease. Okay, and going to continue to do a decrease all the way around. So that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, our very last stitch right here. Going to do through the back loop, and then we're going to cut off a long tail and fasten off, and here is our body completed. Now for the snout with iron colored yarn, you are going to go ahead and chain 2. That's 1 and 2. And then we are going to do 4 single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then use your stitch marker. And then for round 2, this is not a stitch, so that one doesn't count. It's going to be 2 and then 1, 1, 1. So in our very first stitch right here, it's going to be 1 and 2, and then just 1, 1, and 1 in our very last stitch. And then it kind of starts to flip, so we'll just want to make sure that we flip it inside out, so we're working on the proper side. Now for round 3, our pattern is going to be 2 and then 1, 1, 1, 1. So that's going to be 1 and 2 and just 1, 1, 1, and 1. Now we should have 6 single crochet stitches. For round 4, it's just 1, 1, 1 all the way around. You're going to stay at 6 single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, and continue all the way around. For round 5, our pattern is going to be 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, and you should have 8 single crochet stitches at the end. So that's 1 and 2 and 1 and 1. Repeat the pattern again. It's 1 and 2 and then just 1 and 1. Now for round 6, we are just going to stay at 8. So it's 1, 1, 1 all the way around. And you should stay at 8. So go ahead and work up your stitches. And at the end, you want to cut off a long tail and fasten off. And here is our snout completed. Now for the limbs with orange colored yarn, we are going to chain 2. That's 1 and 2. And into our very first chain, we're going to do 4 single crochet stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then for round 2, we are just going to do 1, 1, 1, 1. So you're just going to stay at 4 single crochet stitches. That's going to be 1, 1, 1, and 1. And then make sure you flip it inside out so that the proper side is showing. You're going to cut off a tail and fasten off. And here is our first limb completed, and you'll want to make 4. For the body patch, we are going to use blue yarn, and then we are going to chain 2. That's 1 and 2. And into our first chain, we're going to do 1 single crochet stitch. Row 2, we are going to chain 1 and turn. And into our very first stitch, we're going to do 2. That's 1 and 2. Row 3, chain 1 and turn. Then it's going to be 2 and 1. So we're going to do 1 and 2 and then 1. And then for row 4, chain 1 and turn. And it's going to be 2, 1, 1. That's going to be 1, same stitch, 2, and then 1 and 1. Chain 1 and turn. Row 5 is going to be 2, 1, 1, 1. that's going to be 1 and 2, and then it's going to be 1, 1, and 1. Now we should have 5 single crochet stitches. Chain 1 and turn, and now for rows 6 through 8 we're just going to stay at 5. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do that for rows 7 and 8. So do it 2 more times. Chain 1 and turn. Go ahead and work up your stitches, and I will meet you at the end of row 8. Now this is how it should look like after 8 rows. Now for row 9 we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now our pattern is going to be 2 here, 1, 1, 1, 2. So we should have 7 crochet stitches at the end. So that's 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 in this last stitch, 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to chain 1 and turn. You're going to do it for 3 more rows until row 12. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and continue to work up your stitches, and I will meet you at the end of row 12. Okay, and this is how it should look like after 12 rows. For row 13, we are going to chain 1 and turn. Now it's going to be 2 here, and then in the next 5 just 1 and 2. And we should have 9 single crochet stitches at the end. Now we're going to do 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 in this last one. So that's going to be 1 and 2. Now we should have 9 single crochet stitches. Now for rows 14 through 16 we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to stay at 9. So go ahead and work up your rows, and I will meet you at the end of row 16. And this is how it should look like after 16 rows. Now for row 17, chain 1 and turn, and then we are going to go ahead and decrease. So it's a decrease, and then single crochet, and the last 2 are going to decrease, and you should go back to 7. So here's our first decrease, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then do a decrease here. Okay, so now we should have 7 single crochet stitches here. Chain 1 and turn. And now for row 18 we're just going to stay at 7, so it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 1 and turn. Okay, now we are just going to do a decrease, and then 3 single crochet stitches, and then a decrease, and we should have 5 single crochet stitches at the end. So do a decrease right here, and then it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and then do a decrease in the last 2 stitches right here. Do a decrease. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to stay at 5, so it's just 1 in each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. For row 21, it's going to be 2 here, and then 1, 1, 1, and 2. So you'll have 7 single crochet stitches at the end. So that's 1 and 2, and 1, 2 and 3, and then 2 again. So that's going to be 1 and 2. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. Row 22 is going to be 2, and then next 5 just 1 and 2 here, and you'll have 9 single crochet stitches. So that's 1 and 2, and then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 in the last one. So that's 1 and 2. And then for 23 through 25, chain 1 and turn. We're just going to stay at 9, so it's just 1 in each stitch. So go ahead and do 1 in each stitch, and you'll do that until row 25. And this is how it should look like after 25 rows. Then we're going to cut off a very long tail and fasten off. Okay. And here is our body patch completed. Now for the flame, we're going to work with eyelash yarn, but we want to work with 2 strands as if they were 1 strand together. So put them together, and then we are going to chain 2. So that is going to be 1 and 2. And then into our first chain, we are going to do 4 single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. For round 2, our pattern is 2, 1, 2, 1, and you'll have 6 single crochet stitches around. So in our very first stitch, we are going to do 1 and 2. In our next stitch, just 1. Repeat again. It's going to be 2 here, so that's 1 and 2, and then just 1 in our next stitch. Now we'll want to do a color change to the new eyelash yarn color in orange, and you'll also want to work with 2 strands together. Okay, now we are going to make a slip knot for our orange yarn. Now we're going to do a color change. You're going to do a single crochet stitch into the next stitch, but before you finish off the single crochet stitch, you're going to grab the new yarn and pull through. Now for round 3, our pattern is going to be 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. Repeat around, and you'll have 8 single crochet stitches. So now that's going to be 1 and 2 into the same stitch, and then it's going to be 1 and 1. Repeat the pattern again. It's going to be 2 in our next stitch, so that's 1 and 2, and then 1, and in our last stitch just 1. And you're going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch to fasten off. Cut off a long tail, and here is, oh, and actually cut the red part off as well. Here is our flame completed. And here is our finished Cyndaquil Amigurumi. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.